In Tournament 3 of Robloxian SASUKE, we saw 100 competitors attempt the notorious 4-stage obstacle course yet again, but this tournament has been unlike any previous. After 300 attempts, the mountain was finally conquered, with Gas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 achieving Constant Seiha. Now, as the proper tournament has concluded, it's time to look back at those who we didn't get to see run in the main group of 100 competitors. Nearly 30 competitors are left to take on the course, all with varying skills but equal determination. One competitor has already done the unthinkable. How high will all these competitors soar today on this Extra Runs episode of Robloxian SASUKE? Hello everyone, my name is Jamie Dorino, and for the final time, welcome back to Robloxian SASUKE 3. For the first 4 episodes of the tournament, you saw what you usually see in a ninja competition. 100 competitors attempting the 4 stages of Mount Midoriyama. Now that all of that is said and done, we're looking at the 26 remaining competitors who weren't shown in those first 3 episodes. And, just like everyone else who ran before them, they'll be kicking off their tournament on the first stage. The first stage of this tournament was incredibly difficult, with only the most skilled hitting the buzzer. With 2 new obstacles and 5 of them being modified, these 8 obstacles were unlike anything seen on Robloxian SASUKE before. The new first obstacle, Boyoishi, started the first stage off rough, as 90 competitors went down there. While Silk Slider eliminated less than it did previously, Whirlpool continued its trend to being a major threat, eliminating 21 competitors. All the modifications done to Swinging Forest kept it as a large hurdle for competitors to cross yet again, as only 20 competitors could reach the halfway point of the stage. As competitors neared the end of the first stage, the new Defying Gravity would also give them trouble. While only 4 went down it, those 4 were heavy hitters. And of course, Tarzan Rope and Tarzan Ibori closed out the tournament. And with the clock ticking down as well, it was inevitable that people would fall so close to the finish line. Only 10 could scale the rope and hit the buzzer within the 80-second time limit. Everyone else was eliminated, and today, we're looking for more to join them. There's the end of the first stage. Only 10 competitors in the main tournament could make it to that point, and today we are looking to see if any of these 26 competitors are able to make it back there. And today we're going to be starting off with number 101, Trep 1965. Just like last tournament, we are going to go with numbers past 100 for these extra runners, because honestly, I think that's just something nice to do, because they still ran the tournament, so I think they deserve just a number, kind of as consideration for the run. But nevertheless, Tref 1965 is now onto the course. The extra runs have officially begun here as he's nicely making his way through Boyoishi. I take that back there. Went out about 4 stones into that obstacle, and that means that he is going to be the first competitor out here today on Boyoishi. Now heading into number 102, Eli's 2011, or at least that's how I'm assuming I'm pronouncing it. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Now Eli is someone who's been very eager to get in runs for this tournament, and this is his first time here in Roblox Ninja competition as far as I'm aware. So we're going to be hoping that Eli's has a great debut here on this course. Eli's 1211, I keep wanting to say 2011, but no, it's 1211, is still on the starting line as there is 5 seconds gone off the clock. Eli's 1211 not off there. He's already wasted almost 15 seconds, but now he's finally getting onto the run. Not looking good on time. We have not seen the fastest times on this first stage. Oh, and he goes down there on Boyoishi. 2 competitors in a row down on this first obstacle. Eliminating 19 competitors in the main tournament today. It's definitely going to be eliminating a lot more, because a lot of these competitors are not shown because of the fact that they failed early into the course. So if you thought that some of these obstacles were hard in the main tournament, just you wait until every single competitor has finished running this tournament. Now up next is number 103, Marble Legend 2011, up next on the course with his first 80-second attack on Robloxian SASUKE. Something else to mention is that all these competitors are going to be newcomers for this tournament. I really made the executive decision that if you already ran this course before, you're going to be in that main broadcast. So if you're a newcomer, you really don't have it. You're really not gonna have that much of a chance to make it into the main broadcast unless you're too skilled. Marble Legend 2011 does not make it into that criteria and goes down on the first obstacle like so many, the 3rd in a row to go down there. As we're now on to John Has Flight, a pretty notable name in the community. Don't really know why I cut him, but you know, he's still having his run shown. It's alright. So, John Has Flight. He's going to be the next competitor to attempt this course. We've already seen 3 competitors in a row go down on Boyoishi. John Has Flight does not want to become number 4 as he's making his way nicely with a bit of lag. Oh, and he's down! John has flight, lags himself off that obstacle. It was pretty hard to tell what happened, but it looks like he just missed transiting between that 4th and 5th stone on the obstacle. And that's 4 competitors down. He's engaging with the audience right now, and it looks like everyone's pretty disappointed in his fail, expecting him to probably make it too far. But unfortunately, out on the first obstacle, and now we're on to Mr. Meow's YTS, who is definitely having a lot of hype for this tournament. Now, he's got the nickname of Aussie Bro. Not Aussie Bro. He has the nickname of Aussie, which could be a reference to Aussie Bro. I need to stop doing this. Oh no, he's out! He misses the mail onto Boyoishi. But yeah, for this episode, no script, and I think that's pretty evident. Something that's actually been pretty cool for this tournament is that for anyone that doesn't have a competitor profile or like any intros or outros for like any stages or anything of that sort, I didn't script anything. And for tournaments 1 and 2, that's something that I did for pretty much every single run, which meant that it took a long time for each episode to finish coming out. That's why tournament 1's episodes were like 2 months apart, which is a little bit crazy, more that I think about that. But here in this tournament, I haven't really been doing that. And yes, was there a 2-month delay in between episode 3 and 4? Yes. But also there were really good results in that finale, so I think it kind of warrants that. It's not really like, it's not like it was like a really bad result finale, because like, no one really came to this tournament expecting content, but we still got it, so I'm pretty happy to see that. But, you know, as I am rambling right now, we are already on to Mr. 106, Sponge the 13 Gamer. 5 competitors have gone down in Boyoishi. Sponge the 13 Gamer making his way swiftly through Boyoishi so far with a little bit of a close call here. But so far, is still making his way nicely through this obstacle. Nice job, we already have a clear on that, and now he's going to be the first today to attempt Silk Slider. This obstacle, one of the most feared in tournaments 1 and 2, a little bit less in this tournament. I feel like that's really been overtaken by Whirlpool this tournament as the main first threat on the stage. But Sponge the 13 Gamer on his first appearance is through the Silk Slider, which means that we are going to get our first look at Whirlpool as well during this run. This obstacle is so difficult for every single competitor. Oh, I thought he was going to miss that mount there, but he's on it. He looks like he's going to try and wrap around. He's got caught up on that window. That is not a good strategy from Sponge the 13 Gamer. I'm assuming what he was trying to do is he was trying to wrap around that window, which is something that's really, really hard to do considering the length and width of that window. But as I guess he was trying to do it, he got caught up on it and just could not get the distance and just started hugging that poor window and just could not save himself on it. But up next, Ninjago Hero 33, someone who's definitely been making waves in Roblox Ninja over this year. I've seen him compete in a lot of competitions, but there really haven't been any results that have stuck out to me in terms of his results. Hopefully today he's going to be able to change that. As he's on the boy, no, he's not! That is not a good run from Ninjago Hero 33. And as someone who previously had Ninjago in my Roblox username, because I was like 11 when I made my Roblox account, that's really unfortunate to see that my fellow Ninjago fan cannot get through it. Ninjago Hero 33 out on the Mount of Boyoishi. And next up on the course is Iceland So Great, not at the starting line, starting a little bit too early. Thankfully, he's back there now, so we don't have to give him any penalties or anything. That's kind of weird that I haven't given anyone penalties in this competition yet for going early, but thankfully no one's gone early. Really, everyone's been going late. That's really been the only distinction. We've seen that today from Eli's. It was a lot more common back in Tournament 1 than anything else. I think that's mainly because just Robloxian SASUKE was new at that point and no one really knew the structure. And that's something that a lot of people kind of notice as, oh, Iceland So Great cannot get through that first obstacle. Another competitor out there, and that's honestly crazy because we are about to go into our 9th runner and only 1 out of those first 8 have been able to clear the first obstacle. So this has not really been the most successful extra runs episode. By this point last tournament, we were able to see at least a few attempts on Whirlpool, but today we have only seen 1 clear on the first obstacle. However, that being said, Boyoishi is a lot harder than quintuple steps, and that is shown right there by number 109, Generation Ending, unable to get through that mount. He's the 3rd today to have that fail there on the mount of the obstacle. And that's something that really didn't happen much in the main broadcast. The only people that I can think of really doing that are K-Not Kasugi in episode 1 and then Bubba in episode 3. So to have 3 within the first 9 is honestly kind of absurd. But now we're on to number 110, Scub Killer 68. Now into this chorus, I've seen him a lot in a lot of competitions. Again, a lot of these competitors don't really have a lot of notable results that I can personally think of. So we're going to see if he's able to do good here. And he's speeding his way through that first obstacle. Nice shot from Scub Killer 68. Already through 1 obstacle and now heading on to Silk Slider. Only 1 competitor's attempted this so far and he was able to clear it. Oh, he gets stunned! Oh, can he save it? He saves it! That was wicked! Scalp Killer 68 still in the competition. Nicely making his way through Whirlpool. You know his heart's gotta be racing. Can't get that first transition. Oh, you hate to see it from a competitor. That Silk Slider result was still really good though. He got onto that line which indicated where the stun was, but somehow managed to save it. That is incredibly impressive. And now we're on to 111. Hockey King 1102. Got a nice little avatar there, those 3 colors of a flag that I can't particularly name from sight. There's only a few flags that I can name from sight, which is a little bit embarrassing for me, but it's alright. Yeah, I should honestly think about what flags I can name. But, you know, it's not something that's of importance right now. The only thing of importance right now is Hockey King 1102's run. Now he's making his way nicely through Boyuishi so far. 3 steps into the obstacle, but with a sideways approach here on all these obstacles. Nice job so far. This obstacle, a lot harder than quintuple steps. A lot more jumps, and still, even with that, it eliminated less people than quintuple steps in Tournament 1. And that's mainly due to the fact that in Tournament 1, we only had 100 runners. Last tournament, we had 127. This tournament, we have 126. So there really wasn't a chance to get any more people, and Hockey King 1102, the first competitor out here on Silk Slider today, only took 11 runners, but still a great result. Only the 3rd to make it to this point so far in the extra runs episodes. But yeah, as I was saying, in Tournament 1, we only had 100 main competitors run. So as a result, we also had 1 ult, but we don't really count the ults. Or at least 1 ult that I was able to figure out was an ult before I started editing. But if we go back to Tournament 1, those 29 fails was mainly because no one had really tried the course, kind of, in a way. Because they had like 3 weeks to practice before the tournament began, but you know what? It's alright. They got their revenge in Tournament 2. Only 15 people failed the obstacle in Tournament 2. 19 competitors failed Boyuishi. Oh no! Island Cat YT, another competitor out on the mount. That's the 4th competitor in 12 runs. 1/3 of the competitors have gone down on the mount to the first obstacle in this broadcast. 1/3! But up next is probably the competitor I'm the most excited to see so far. It's Lego Boy 3000, but a lot of people call him JCat. Now, JCat, he did do an interview for this tournament, and I said that interviews were like a guarantee that you were going to be in the broadcast. I don't know why he's in extra runs. That was 100% a mistake, and I am incredibly sorry for that. You should have been in the main broadcast, JCat. But JCat still showing off his skill. Oh! Had a little bit of a fumble there. That's really unfortunate because he was going at a good pace so far. Probably the fastest out of all the competitors so far, and he probably would have made it far. That's really unfortunate to see out of him. Hopefully next time he's able to do better because I know his skill and I know that he can go far. But now we're on to another competitor that we see in a lot of competitions. This is Ferrari Racer 58. Now, I think his name's pronounced Graham. I'm not really that good with names that have like 2 vowels next to each other, but I'm gonna call him Graham. Okay. Ferrari Racer 58, Graham. 80 seconds on the clock. Now making his way onto the course for his first time. Number 114 on this course. 13 fails in a row. Ferrari does not want to be the 14th to do so. He at least wants to make it through this first obstacle, and that's what he's done. A clean run there from Ferrari Racer 68. Now, oh, that was a close call there from Ferrari Racer 68. Got onto that silk, psyched himself out at the last moment, but now he's going swiftly through this obstacle. Smooth landing from Ferrari Racer 68, and now he's making his way over to Whirlpool. I kind of blanked on that name there for a second. That's kind of embarrassing for me. Imagine being the host of your own competition and forgetting what an obstacle is called. But anyways, Ferrari Racer 50, fell off that second cyclone. He was on a great pace there so far. He was on a good time to clear, but unfortunately just could not bring it on this obstacle. That was still a great run. I think is that the best run? That is the best run so far. Nice job, Ferrari Racer. He's able to make it through, and now we're on to Aiden Plays 19291. We officially have 11 competitors left in the extra runs broadcast in about 12 minutes as well. So, Aiden Plays 19291 wants to have a good result here on his first attempt at Robloxian SASUKE. Got that nice little headband on, representing with the Japanese flag on it. You like to see that from competitors, really showing their passion for where Ninja Warrior began in Japan. But Aiden Plays 19291 swiftly through Boyuishi. That was good from him. Now we're heading on to Silk Slider. Gonna make his way through that drop, and he's got that too. And yeah, you can tell by this point that I'm kind of running out of things to say because a lot of these competitors really haven't done the best, so I'm repeating things after myself, and there's a lot of variety when you go into the main 100, and that's what I try and choose whenever I'm deciding my numbers. Aiden plays 19291, another competitor there out on that transition between the first and second cyclone. But yeah, when I decide the numbers, I try and make sure that I have a lot of competitors to have a lot of variety. Like, I don't want 5 first obstacle fails in a row, like how this episode started, because what happens with that is over time the broadcast starts becoming stale. And also something that I don't do is I just completely go through this. Like, I have not stopped commentating once. We are already on to the 16th competitor to run this extra runs episode, and I have not stopped commentating once for this broadcast. So something that I do in the main broadcast is I usually do it one by one, take a break in between, kind of have an outlook of what I'm doing before I start doing the commentary for each of these runs. But honestly, for a lot of these results, I've completely forgotten them. This is the first time I've looked at these runs in a really long time. Kyle Busch fan 00 cannot get through the silk slider there. Looks like he could have had it for a second. It's just a little bit too late there, and that's going to send him into the water. That's really unfortunate. Another competitor out there. We still have not seen a single competitor go down. It's not a single competitor get through Whirlpool. That's what I meant there. But now we are going to see another competitor on the first stage. Number 117, Isaiah Carrig. Or at least that's how I'm assuming you pronounce it. He's going to be the next competitor. And it looks like he's got that down. He's got that down. The start whenever rule. I think that's kind of become a meme in the community. Just whenever someone's like, go whenever. That's just something that I think about these competitions, because usually whenever I do this, he almost went down there on Boyoishi, but he's nicely making his way through this obstacle. And I think as I'm going through this episode, I've kind of noticed the fact that like what I've been saying has been like incoherent ramblings. Hopefully this is pretty understandable from everyone so far, because I'm gonna one take this, and I'm gonna get this episode done and over with, because I'm ready to start tournament 4. Yeah. A little bit too much passion there for me, but it's whatever. Isaiah Carrig cannot get through the silk slider. Had a really bad dismount off of that obstacle. Cannot stay on that platform. Doesn't even touch it. That was really unfortunate. Now we're heading on to our next competitor to run their first stage. We have, let me think, because we're about to go on to number 118. So that means that we have 118, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20. We have 9 competitors left. We have 9 competitors left to see if someone's able to clear Whirlpool. And up next, number 118, Fire City 1 is onto the course. Now onto Boyoishi. Nice job. All right. Making his way through this obstacle. Got through each of these stones. Good. And he's through that obstacle too. Now heading up to Silk Slider. Wasted about 20 seconds there on that first obstacle, but Fire City 1 still nicely making his way through the obstacle, and I'm not going to say that anymore because Fire City 1 just goes down there on Silk Slider. Another competitor to overshoot it, and that's been 3 competitors in a row down on Silk Slider. That's something that I didn't think I'd actually expect to see at this point in the broadcast, because at this point, we've seen mainly first obstacle fails. So to see consistent people making it to the second obstacle is amazing. We're going to see if number 119, It's Me Who Saw Him 2011, is able to continue that trend here. Got a nice avatar. He's got a little bit of a suit going on like my guy, Ryosuke Miyoka. He was able to make it incredibly far, and Sasuke 42, don't want to spoil because it's like 2 days old? It's like 3 days old by this point, and I know a lot of people probably haven't gotten the chance to see it yet, but It's Me Who Saw Him 2011, unable to get through the obstacle, will not reach the highs that Ryosuke did in the most recent Sasuke tournament, and that's going to take him out right then and there. That's really unfortunate to see that, but, maybe he can bounce back, because Ryosuke bounced back because he initially was a tester for the course. He was, if you remember those videos from Sasuke 35, where there was that person doing like the testing, and also, it was also Sasuke 40, I think. Yeah, it was Sasuke 42. It was the tester, and that was actually the first look we ever had at Dragon Glider, I think, back in 2018, because Dragon Glider was still new at that point. That was the first ever look that we had at it. But yeah, that was him. So we knew that he was pretty good, and that was kind of fully seen when it came to Sasuke 40, when he kind of just blazed his way through the course. So when it came time for 41, I didn't know that he had this past history with Sasuke. But going into 42, we knew this, and no surprise that he did really good. Chocolate almost had a really bad fail there, though, on Silk Slider, and there he goes. It looks like he actually grazed the stun there while he was on the silk, and that actually kind of flung him off that silk. But on that mount, it looked like he kind of missed his chance to get onto it, and then somehow still had his jump, still was able to jump, and he just went for it. That would have been a really funny fail if he missed that, but he doesn't. And Chocolate, now through the obstacle. We have 6 competitors left to run this first stage now. We are on to number 121. This is Dark Arrow. All right. Another newcomer here on the course, just like everyone else who's ran it so far. Dark Arrow, we're going to see how he does here. Nicely making his way through Boyoishi so far. This 80-second time limit. Pretty strict time limit, but Dark Arrow is nicely making his way through this first obstacle already. Just a few more stones left, and he's got that. All right, next competitor, and second competitor in a row actually to make it onto Silk Slider. It looks like as we progress through these competitors, the better they are going to perform, and that's what's happening. No! Dark Arrow cannot get through the obstacle. Looks like he had it for a second, but as soon as he hit that stun, it was over, because that stun makes you lose any amount of control that you potentially had. And now we are on to number 122. Me is so cool. 12314. Asking if he's gonna go, and you see the classic Roblox ninja strategy of, can I go? I need to go soon, which I personally used when I was younger. Don't really use that anymore because I've actually learned patience, but nevertheless, me is so cool. 12314 is now onto the course. Nicely so far. Good job so far. About 10 seconds already gone. Looks like he was going for a little bit of a 360 there on one of those stones. But he's still able to get through the obstacle nevertheless. That's the third competitor in a row to get through it. These competitors, yeah, as I was saying, they are progressively getting better as each obstacle, as the runs continue. And even though he did fail a Silk Slider, that is still better than him going out on the first obstacle. It's kind of cool that this parallels the actual broadcast, because as the broadcast continues, the competitor pool gets better. And this is cool because we have 4 competitors left, and with the fact that for about 6 of the 7 last runs, we've had them make it a Silk Slider. So these final 4 competitors must be stacked. All right, up next is King Q1356. He's the next competitor to attempt the course. We're in 1, 2, 3. All right, nicely making his way through this obstacle, actually. Making his way fast. Okay. Right, King Q1356. Good job through that first obstacle. And now making his way over to Silk Slider. Over a minute left on the clock on this obstacle. We haven't seen a competitor clear this obstacle in a while. With a little bit of a lag, it's kind of hard to tell if he's able to get through it. Looks like he actually got through it there, actually. But King Q1356 is now on to Whirlpool. This has been a great run so far. Can he get that first transition? He can! Oh, wow! King Q1356 actually has a chance to make this obstacle. Just at this amount of weights. Come on, you got this, man. Go for no! King Q1356 unable to get through the obstacle. So close to beating Whirlpool on his first appearance. That would have been such a good accomplishment there from his first run. But unfortunately, unable to get through it. And that's going to send him home, but still a great run. He says that it's okay on the sidelines. And honestly, I'd be pretty satisfied with that result too. Especially after this extra runs episode that we've had. And up next, number 124, Choco Haribo 2. The next competitor to attempt this first stage. The final 3 competitors. We're going to see how he's doing here on this course. We're going sideways here, a little bit confused on the mount. No, Choco Haribo 2. We hadn't had a mount fail in so long. We hadn't had a mount on the first stone fail in so long. And then this happens. He's the 5th competitor in this extra runs episode to do that. And now we just have 2 competitors left. Number 125, whatever you say. Right on that storyline. And yeah, it's pretty obvious to tell that, like, by this point, I'm kind of scraping the barrel when it comes to commentary. But still, whatever you say, still has a chance to do pretty good. And she says that she's either going to fail early or something. And that's been a pretty good way to describe this extra runs episode. Everyone's been failing pretty early. Whatever you say, doesn't have the most high hopes for herself, but actually able to get through that first obstacle without many problems. And now heading on to Silk Slider. Gotta get that drop. Got that drop, stays on it, and is actually through. That's 2, no, it's not 2 competitors in a row because of Choco Haribo 2. But 2 out of the last 3 runners have been able to make it to Whirlpool. And we just saw King Q almost beat this obstacle. Whatever you say, wants to keep that streak going. Nice job there on that first transition, but time is not looking good so far. Gonna need to make sure to keep up this pace here as she's nearing this final cyclone. Nice job. 36 seconds left. If she gets through this obstacle, she's got to go. Going for that wrap. Oh! Whatever you say. A little bit too far back on that moving platform. Could not fully wrap herself onto it. And that's going to send her out on Whirlpool. So close to making it, but that is still the second best result that we've seen out of all the competitors to run this extra runs episode. Yeah, she says that she had it, but just could not get it. And still, she was pretty close to it. And with this impressive first result, we can see her probably improve better in the future. But now, everything has led up to this moment. Number 126, the last competitor to run this first stage. Mega Man 129678. Mega Man 129678. After this run, if he fails or clears, that will determine if this tournament will fully end. But Mega Man nicely making his way slowly but surely onto this Boyoishi. No! Mega Man unable to get through the obstacle. Oh, you hate to see it. Just overshot it, and he says that he's lagging, which honestly I do believe, but unfortunately he didn't come back to do any potential retries on the obstacle, which is really unfortunate. But you know what? It's alright, and that's how our tournament closes out, on a first obstacle fail. And with that, Tournament 3 is over. Today, we saw 26 competitors attempt this first stage one last time, and none of them could even make it to the fourth obstacle. Now that every competitor has had their runs aired this tournament, it's time to look into the future, and I couldn't be more excited. It's a renewal, meaning that a lot of the obstacles that we saw today aren't coming back. The course is out right now, and the link to the game's in the description, ready for you to start practicing. As for when to expect the tournament to begin, my schedule is pretty limited going into the next few months, which means that the tournament is going to run longer than any previous one. I'm aiming for it to run for about a month longer than any other tournament, but that means that more people will have the chance to run, and I hope that means that you will too. The announcement video for the tournament will be up within the next week with more information, so I encourage you to watch that video when it comes out. As for mini competitions, those aren't decided yet, but they'll most likely be every weekend in January leading up to the tournament. Other than that, that is all I've got. Thank you so much for watching this tournament. It's been great hosting it and editing it for all of you to see. For the final time this tournament, this is Jamie Dorino signing off. We'll see you next time for Robloxian SASUKE 4.